In this video, I'm going to show you how to solve quadratic inequalities. But before I do, I'm going to assume that you understand quadratic equations and how to sketch graphs. I've done several videos on these two topics, so if you haven't seen them, watch them. Links below. Okay, so let's get started. So when given this quadratic inequality here, try to sketch the graph just so that you can get a sense of what's going on. Okay, so there are all quicker ways of doing this, but try to do it this way, just so that you can get a sense of what's going on. Okay, so now this times this here would be x squared, and then this times this here would be plus 4x, and then minus 3 times this would be minus 3x, and then minus 3 times 4, that would be minus 12. This here, and then merge this and this together, so this would be x squared plus x minus 12. You see, when we first started, this was what was given to us, but the thing is, I wanted to translate this into this here so that we can sketch a graph. Okay, so you see this thing here, is exactly the same as this thing here, but just written differently. Okay, but the thing is, the reason why I'm changing it to this form here is so that we can sketch the graph. You see what I mean later. Okay, so now try and sketch a graph. When from the section on sketching graphs, when x is small, this term here dominates, and this is like y equals mx plus c. The c in this case is minus 12. The intercept is minus 12. The gradient is 1. Okay, so when x is small, this term here dominates, and it's a straight line going through minus 12. It has a gradient of 1. So the graph looks like this. When x is big, this term here dominates. So you're going to get some sort of quadratic when it's big. Okay, but then yeah. So now you just got to merge the two together. When x is small, these two terms here dominate. When x is big, it's going to be a quadratic like this. Okay, so now it's just merging the two together. So your graph might look something like this. Okay, so we were given this. We were given this at the start. We multiplied out the brackets, so we can jump to this. From this, we can sketch our graph. It looks like this. Okay, now roughly looks like that. Now looking at this in this form here, this is one of the roots is minus 4, the other one's positive 3. Now, if you don't understand this bit, you've got to watch this section on quadratic equations. Okay, so this here is minus 4, and this here is 3. A badly drawn graph, but you get a sense of what's going on anyway. So here, so our graph looks like this: minus 3, and sorry, the positive root is 3. The x is minus 4. You see this? Minus 4 is 1 point here, and the 3 is here. Okay, so hang on, let me clear this. Let me just draw it again. Hang on. So our graph looks something like this. Our graph looks something like this. Hang on. Minus 12, and then this is 3, and this is minus 4. So our graph looks something like this. So quadratic going through this, and this is just a rough graph. Okay, this is y, this is x. Now looking at this here, you're interested in this whole thing here. This whole thing here is really at the moment, this graph here is actually y equals this, x minus 3 bracket x plus 4. You see this bit here is exactly the same as this bit here. Okay, but then you're interested in this whole thing being greater or equal to 0. You see, equals or greater than 0. So you see this bit here is good, and this bit here is also good. So you can see well, if you're trying to, well you can see if you select x the x values to be somewhere on the right hand side here, and then anything on this side here, that would give you all the values above or equal to 0. You see, so your diagram should look something like this. Hang on, this is 0 here, 3 here, and -4 here. You see, for you to well, you drawing the number line to represent the solution to this inequality would look like this. It would look like this. You can take the 3 because it's greater or equal to. So because you've got that or equal to, you can just do it like this. So your number line would look something like this. Okay, and then that you can translate. So here, given this here, you can use this diagram to translate this. So you can say x has to be greater or equal to positive 3, but less than or equal to -4. You see, starting from here, we drew a graph to get a sense of what's going on. Drew a graph, and then from the graph you can see that well, your final answer would be this, or this here. Okay. So these two are pretty much the same thing. Okay.